Hi, sorry, I couldn't find my water bottle. All right, finally, I had so many problems today going live on YouTube, and I'm hoping it won't lag too much. It was really bad, the last one, and I actually never go back and watch myself, but I did, and it was really, really laggy. I'm hoping it won't be tonight and that you all are doing well. I'm sending you so much love and healing light. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you're coming back, hi. I love you guys. I'm Allison. This is Blackbird Oracle, and so grateful. Thank you for new subscribes, everything, the personal readings, reaching out, sharing what you're experiencing, helping me out to go live, all sorts of gratitude to all of you. And again, just lots of love and light. I'm going to share a little bit of what I've been experiencing the last few days and share a little bit, like I said, of me. It's what I'm being guided to do, and it's not too comfortable, but I figure while Gaia has us grounded, what the fuck, this probably is the right time to kind of story tell a little bit along with messages of what's going on, what we're experiencing. So take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, not meant for you, and that's cool. I will pull cards too. I want to look. We have two big. So we just had equinox. Happy Ostara. It's today, I guess, last night. It's raining here in Vegas. Weather is one thing. While we're there, Gaia's going to shift again. We've been kind of in her heart space and in the air element, and she's going to be moving to water. I feel we're going to see a lot of like bursting open, and I talked about that the other day, Gaia, and I felt that strongly yesterday. I'm very strongly connected to her. She hurts, and this has been for her. This is her healing. You know, when you awaken and you go hermit mode, right? And then that's when it all starts to come up, and that's what I kind of, how I see it all and how it's connecting all of us. Okay. So I feel purging coming with Gaia, more collective purging. This is the collapse of the 3D timeline of the matrix. It is bringing up everything collectively, all the way back to Atlantis and failed civilizations and poverty, fear, all of these things we're experiencing, fear of illness, and it's intense shit. It really, really is. But it's also the call to light workers of, and many of you I know feel it too, of this is the time where we finally shine, where we're not batshit crazy anymore. Things with the timeline collapsing and what's going on collectively, how you may be affected, as deja vu senses. You might have kind of flashback moments. Last night, or in the early evening, I had this flashback of Germany during World War II. When Hitler kind of enacted like police state, and that is something that I've been seeing, is this coronavirus and this quarantine is just the beginning. And so you might be having those similar kind of moments. The ancestors are very much with us, the ascended masters, all of the beings of light, which is another thing we are going to probably be seeing. My dog, please stop. Hey, Jameson. He's half pug, half Boston Terrier, and he's noisy as fuck, y'all. But anyways, so also dream state might be way more active. A lot of emotions coming up, seemingly out of nowhere. It is, as you're ascending, you are becoming more and more sensitive. Kind of be still. Envision yourself in a golden bubble. Up, and here we go with an unsteady connection. New technology. New technology. Again, to star seeds, it's again this moment. They've been showing me of no longer seeds, and that the seeds that we originally planted when we came are now blossoming. And it's because we've been through a planetary ascension before, many of us. And many of us, the majority of us, have lived in and had a life experience in Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient Egypt. So again, how these things and why these things may be coming up with you, and how we're seeing them come to the surface in the physical, right? Within the collective. Again, important to stay focused and in a place of peace, because thoughts, intentions, words are what we put out into the collective consciousness. So staying out of that fear and that panic and that anxiety, feel what you feel, allow it to flow through you and release it. And that's what those of us doing the work, we're doing it. And it feels very much like yesterday, I didn't do much. It was heavy. I'm not even going to fuck around. Like, the collective energy is building again. And it's, again, this next kind of domino. And that's how I see it, as this coronavirus is the first. And now it's been flipped. And here we go. Tower moment, tower moment, tower moment, revealing truths. It's like the collective is going through dark night of the soul, is really how it feels. And what those of us who have been here, we know this is the clearing. This is the opportunity to end cycles and do things differently. And one thing my team is like, it's not even really optional at this point. Okay. It will be done differently, because the old systems and structures cannot stay in place. They can't sustain anymore. They don't work with the natural order of things. They do not work for the highest good of the people and with pure intentions. And so it really is within our individual lives and within the collective, a clearing of old karma, of soul contracts that will no longer exist in the 5D. It's not about contracts at all. There are none. The only contract you have is with yourself, and however you call the team. Okay, so it really is asking us right now, Gaia, with the grounding, as I call it, is really asking us all to go within, to be still, to allow things to come up, to really be looking at our individually and as a collective, and at the structures and systems. We want to look at home is a big one right now, right? For me, and I've said this before, my most recent past lives have all been here in the United States, and it is home, right? And Gaia and your physical body are home. And as you are kind of stuck in your home, again, looking at your relationship with yourself, with others, who's in your home, with. And this is what we're looking at. And it's a time really to open up and be compassionate and empathetic, and really use those beautiful gifts that have been feeling so much like a curse for lifetimes for us. Now is the time where we really get to use them, and the receiving is going to come back this time, right? It is how it feels. So those are things that I've been channeling, that have been coming in, and I've been piecing together to hopefully, of course, as always, with the intention of sharing information, sharing truth, hopefully bringing some peace and some insight, some clarity of what we're experiencing and why we're experiencing it. There's a lot more, and I know that's kind of where my guidance is going to be. It's just been very, I'll tell you guys, like yesterday was really rough, and I just knew I let it be because I know that's my work. And it wasn't just clearing for me, it was definitely clearing collective debris, shit, gunk, fear, karma, however we want to label it. For me personally, on top of doing the collective work, I'm in union with my twin, and that has its own thing going on in merging and energies and this transformational period that we're in. So it's definitely been an interesting week so far. But yet things may feel kind of like they haven't quite moved. Like a stillness right now. And I really feel that shift comes after this weekend with the new moon. Because what will happen tomorrow is Saturn will move into Aquarius for the first time since 1994. And it's the age of Aquarius. Like tomorrow morning is literally the dawn of the age of Aquarius. And it's super fucking rad, y'all. And he'll stay there for 2.5 years. So we have the Lord of Karma entering Aquarius, which is about starseeds. It's about technology and information. It's about progress and justice, reordering structures, innovation, and information. And so it's going to be really important. It's going to really bring some major breakthroughs that I feel we'll really start to see and understand why as we enter May, June, solstice season, moving towards galactic new year, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll talk to as we get closer. But one thing I was getting is this will be a time where the ability to detach from emotional overwhelm is going to be very important. A lot's coming to the surface, right? In terms of collective karma, in terms of justice, equality, in terms of unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. Again, Corona is just the beginning of the unveiling, and it is the way it's being used is to keep us in a place of fear, panic, anxiety, and separation with the media. And it's important to not pay attention to that mass shit going on. There are people like myself, YouTube, IG, social media, Patreon, all of it that are speaking truth and being called to do so. Again, this is enlightenment, the collective beginning of collective enlightenment, and it is evolution. It's fucking fascinating and an amazing time to be a human. But we know through our individual journeys that you got to have tower moments. You have to have breakdowns. And when we're talking about on a collective level, we're repeating history to clear that shit out. There are things that are coming back up. Let's see what else. And then at the same time, this conjunction is going to square a Uranus-Taurus conjunction, which again hasn't happened in quite a while. And the last time I believe it happened was the 40s, and the stock market crashed, which is interesting because the last few readings for the collective and what might be we seeing collectively, I have been channeling information around money. Possibly the stock market, but Uranus again, boundaries. It's going to be all about looking at how we restructure, how we break free from limiting beliefs, how we break free from programming, and begin to create new earth, begin to create systems that are all about Saturn in Aquarius for 2.5 years. What I'm seeing is the next 3 years are like the shakeups and the breakups and then the breakthroughs, and y'all know how that goes, you know? So it's kind of like strap your seatbelts on. This is just the beginning of this ride. And all of us, I love that, all of us who are on the Ascension Highway, the rest are coming, right? Or they're choosing to opt out. And that's another thing with, and I don't mean to laugh or take it, I'm not taking it seriously, is we are going to see death, and they will be back, believe me, and they're going to be back much quicker than ever before. So we are going to, and I hate that, like those of you who know me, I am not like the rest, and I feel very, very deeply. And so it is not always easy things for me to talk about. It's hard. I asked yesterday, like, why why am I the collective channel? And it was, why not, you know, kind of thing. So, and I had to kind of be like, yeah, well, okay. And my why not is that double-edged sword, is that many of you know, is the gifts and abilities sometimes can be heavy, and they sometimes feel more like a curse than a gift. But it is, we know now, and I know, the gift of healing, in bringing light to the dark, and we have to communicate it. And that's something for me. I got throat chakra stuff going on like mad, y'all, and I don't know if you guys do, but this is hard for me. And it is, again, my past lives and knowing that there is this fear I'm working through with speaking at this time, because I've been here, done that, and it didn't end well for me. But then when I really, when I say it out loud, it's kind of, I have this moment again of, well, then what the fuck are you scared about? Like, what are they going to do? And you know what's coming. Like, you've been waiting lifetimes for this. And so, you know, it's kind of like the baby steps. And I want to be vulnerable and share some of my journey with you all, because I know we're going through similar experiences, and it's nice to know that you're not alone. So I just thought we'd kind of pull readings, so take it as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it's okay. It's all good in the hood. You're just not ready for it. It's cool. Don't force anything. What else? Take it for you personally, how it resonates, because again, what's going on is it's all connected. We're becoming more and more connected, and many, many, many are becoming, feeling the collective energy more, ending up in feeling so deeply that we are one. It's really beautiful, you know. It's amazing how perspective, right, can have you in a whole different vibration. So I thought we'd start with, let me get a drink. And tell my dog to be quiet, Jameson. Thank you. All right. Let's kind of just ask Spirit to bring forth some clear, concise messages of what we might be experiencing. Aquarius, please. Messages, clear, concise, the highest good. Anything else during this? walking away. All right, y'all, you know, here's what's coming through is spiritual truths around money. People walking away. There's a sense of really worth, value, and walking away from the belief systems, the thinking that no longer serves, that isn't of value, that isn't for the highest good. Coming with this 43 and the 27. I definitely see spiritual partnerships. I'm seeing masculine, feminine. There might be some of that going on, and I'm going to bring that in because it is very, very heavy right now in the collective. And I don't mean heavy in a low vibrational energy way, it like low. I mean, it is like unions coming. You can feel it. And I work and I'm blessed to work with so many twins. It's just and more being guided, and I'm grateful, and I giggle with spirit because I was so close to it. And as I've been opening more about it and my journey, it's really, there's that another piece of alignment coming in and being brought together. But there are sacred unions coming. I know mine is here, and it's a trip, y'all. With that, there are a lot of relationships ending, breakups. Again, remember I said shakeups and breakups, and we need those first to have the breakthroughs. So collectively, again, there's a lot going on energetically, so a lot of messages coming through. I will do a little clarifying, see if there's any other kind of theme. Anything else? Another 7. The divine plan. It's being as it's been designed to. Again, unveiling. It's a lot of truth and truth around. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. 5 came out. I'm not taking all 5. I'm taking the 2 that flipped up, and I'm not even going to look at those 2 and see what they are. But I know what this is. Another 7 and foundations. It's okay. So we have all that glitters instantly again with this. I'm getting this. And I think this came out the other day too, the last reading I did with financial constraints. But this to me is ego mask. It's materialism. It's ego, like it's what we value. It's seeing through the veil. It's seeing through the glitz and the glitter that's being presented in the kind of show. And I'm getting that like with mass media and the president and all of this, what's being shown, surface level shit, right? Going deeper, right? There's depth to this to me. I'm also seeing and feeling again balance of masculine and feminine energy. That's all of these unions, because that brings even more light and more balancing of light and dark, right? So and again, we have this 7. There's going to be fresh outlooks on what we've been shown. And we get to the sea, another 7. I'm just spirit, the galaxy. We are so supported and loved and protected right now. The light worker, ascension, awakened, ancient old souls, whatever the fuck you label yourselves. We are so protected, and this is a message of flowing with it. We'll allow these things to reveal themselves. Walk away from anything that isn't resonating or of depth. Look beyond that shallow. I'm just getting this depth feeling of really this shift from surface to really a lot of depth, to flowing. And then I'm seeing movement with this flow of flowing towards building blocks. These things are happening to build strong, stable foundations, strong, stable structures, again, that are of depth, that do have value. Excuse me, stop, Jameson. That do have value, that are about our worth first and foremost, that is grounded in the physical too, and that is individually too, having these experiences of not just walking away from people, but of work, of career, of belief systems. That's the biggest one. It's this mental game, right? And we have been programmed to stay up here in logic, and what we're all about to see is gonna blow logic out of the water, yo. We all need to get deeper right now and into that heart space, into that root chakra, grounding with Gaia, because she is our solid foundation. This to me too is very much, even though we have this masculine energy here, this to me is a little bit too of masculine awakenings, and healing of the feminine, right? Again, this is what brings the balance in. And Gaia, you know, the feminines are pissed. Like it's there is this, for me, when I'm feeling all this collective kind of sadness about what's going on, this anxiousness of what's coming, because I truly believe that most people have it. We know, everybody. It's just that this shit going on, right? And we're having massive, again, awakenings, ego deaths, dark nights of the soul, to get us in this movement to more stable, solid foundations that are grounded in Gaia. Because the deal is, Gaia is ascending. Again, when my team tells me, we kind of laugh, like, free will, yes, but not really a choice either, because the planet's doing it, and her inhabitants have a choice to either go or not. And you're not going anywhere. You're not. We all in it, right? So it again is this walking away from the things that are just not working. There's no value to them anymore. Seeing beyond the masks, digging deeper, going deeper, trusting in spirit that this is all divinely planned, to move towards this building of stronger foundations. I just love that. It's fucking rad. Anything going on with you guys? Or is it just you and me? I think it is. All right, let's look a little more at this man holding a coin. Just going to kind of play around with the decks I kind of set out today. Yeah, see, another 7, y'all. There's a lot of spirit here. Spirit within connections, spirit assisting the collective, in assisting us. Just very, very, again, I've been saying this for like a week or so, very deep. There's a lot going on with crown chakras. But this is the Chariot in traditional tarot too, and it is very much a movement, an energy of balance movement. I'm seeing the heart too. This is about healing the heart. It's about unions. It's about sacred, things that are sacred, and holding them sacred. And the first thing we hold sacred is each other, is ourselves and each other, right? Christ consciousness, the message was simple: love thyself and love thy neighbor. Love yourself. And when you do that, we all love each other, right? It's movement towards depth, movement towards spirit, movement towards unity and balance, that these events with Saturn in Aquarius are moving us towards as a collective and individually. What about walking away? Oh, I love this. We get spread your wings and embrace and the world and the heart again. So much this opening up, this letting shit go that's shallow, that, you know, seeing through the shit, right? I'm just going to let it come the way it comes, yo. And it is spreading our wings, opening up that heart space, embracing the world, embracing each other. We're completing these cycles together. And the way we do that is we walk away. We walk away from the bullshit. We walk away from the programming. We walk away from that old ass fucking energy. And we open up to the new. And the new is solid and it's strong and it's stable and it's connected at the heart space, and it's grounded. I don't know what to tell you. Woo, okay. Whoa, ears ringing. We are completing this Saturn Aquarius conjunction is completing very big cycles, initiating, opening up the completion of cycles. What about all that glitters? What's all that glitters about? Okay. Temperance, balance. Could have, temperance is what, Sag. So could be something to, you know, later in the year coming in, a reveal. I know I did a 2020 forecast, I don't know, right around New Year's, I think New Year's night. And that was something I was seeing and was coming through, was it's going to kind of wave this year. Like, we're going to have this moment, we're going to kind of calm, right? And then we're going to pick up again. And so it could be a little of that coming through of Sag season as we near the end of the year. More is revealed, more of the ego, more of the lies, more of the manipulation to bring in more balance. But again, this to me too is merging sacred unions. This is the merging within masculine and feminine energy, that the light workers and you know who you are, that the work you're doing, and you are, whether you're a twin flame or not, if you're on this healing ascension highway, you're doing this work to find balance within, to find peace within, knowing that that's what you find outside of you. It's really, really beautiful and kind of contradictory with this, but what I feel Spirit's doing right now is kind of showing like the why, the what, why do we go through these things like ego death and all of this? And it's because of this. It's also to me balance of power, maybe something with that being seen, with the masculine and feminine energy. Again, I said the feminine is pissed. She's angry. And it's mama, it's Gaia, and she's ready to let the stuff she's been holding that's been going on under the surface out. And I'm going to tell you, and you'll know it, the most disempowered, enslaved people of all race, color, creed, sexuality has been the feminine. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the size or the color. It's always been the feminine, and that has been done intentionally. And it is part of our healing process, is healing the divine feminine within, healing Gaia to bring in this balance. It's also the healing of the distorted masculine, the patriarchy, I guess, if that's what we want to call it. I don't really know, and you guys know me by this point, most of you, again, unless you're new, of superhero movies and old stories of dark versus light. And it's not masculine versus feminine. It's that distorted, dark perspective, that old energy being shifted into a higher perspective, a more balanced, equal perspective. And I just noticed this on the bottom, the Three of Pentacles. This is leading us towards cooperation. Again, systems and structures in place where we're working together for each other's highest good. Again, in that equal. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. One of Cups, Ace of Cups. New emotional beginnings, new beginnings with you filling your own cup, you being in the flow. And this is something I know spirits wanted to come through for light workers is remember, there's nothing you have to do. Yes, this Aries energy is going to bring this need to want to move. But right now, again, is maybe more of a standstill time of really nurturing yourself, really working with that feminine energy, softening, releasing within the masculine energy, and really bringing that balance within, because that work just in and of itself, you doing that is working. That's your one love again. It's that unity consciousness, that connection that we all have that is at our heart space, right? And at our souls. This is, again, all these numbers with spirit. I'm seeing a bunch of 2s as I glance around too. Let's look at building blocks. I like the eye here too. To me, this is seeing from the heart, seeing truth. One thing a few weeks ago I was working on and came through as a message when I was doing some yoga was open the heart, open the mind. You can't release the stuff going on in the head without opening up the heart and releasing the hurt and the heaviness and vulnerability, is going to be a big one. We're all being called, I feel like, light workers in some way, shape, or form to open up and be more vulnerable from the heart space, from the third eye, no matter what our past life experiences have been, because this is the time where it works. Okay, building blocks. Same within sacred connections too. And I'll tell you, with me, it's been a lot of seeing from the heart, releasing, kind of allowing things to open up. Not pushing, like we have an idea, right? But it's learning how to be very free with that idea of how things look, and how they're supposed to look. There's a lot of, again, you work so hard in this filling your own cup that you now have to find that balance again in sharing this energy, and it's intense in the physical. And it's going to be intense as a collective too, as we open up. It is going to be emotional and vulnerable, and I do feel strongly that a lot of it will be led by divine feminines, because it's part of the healing process. It's part of what's needed to bring in the balance. Building blocks. Let's look at building blocks. Building blocks is a 10. So again, I'm getting this ending of a cycle right under the world of things that aren't stable, that things that just don't work anymore, that have to fall away in order to restructure something much stronger. What else with this? Yeah. This is the healing, right? It's now we're not going back and forth. We found a balance. This is where we're finding balance, is within the root chakra, within our connection to Gaia, within these strong, stable foundations within. I know, and I've talked about it, and I've been there, okay, of wanting to go home. I don't belong here. I want to go home, right? And then I've had board meetings where it's like, no, this is the home. This is what you signed up to do. So it's finding that balance too between being a multidimensional being and being human. and finding that stability within, and in being grounded but having wings at the same time. And in the Four of Swords, just breathe, allowing it to flow through us, allowing things to unfold the way Spirit and the divine has planned them for us, how we've agreed to them. And again, it's multiple. This is individual, this is collective, and what we're working towards in terms of sacred unions, twin flame soulmates, and whole family is a huge one right now. This is the time, and you guys, we feel it, like that we're being brought together. You can feel it, to help each other on our soul missions and on our paths, and to really hold space for each other without judgment, because there's a lot of that shit going on in the spiritual community and online with readers, and it's just, again, this separation right now of truth, of unconditional love and unity consciousness. There's a lot of I haven't been on social media much, but I caught some things in the last day or two, just very briefly, of a lot of people spewing a lot of fear, and that is not of the light. And a lot of people in the twin flame community who are doing twin flame readings, sacred connection readings, and it's all negative. Again, and I said it before, part of me not really talking and discussing being a twin is because, one, it's sacred to me. Two, sometimes I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I, fear of looking batshit crazy that we all go through, that I'm over. Thank you. Woo, released. And three, I didn't want to be part of the twin flame community. To be perfectly honest in who I am, my truth, I don't really fit in any community. And I was never meant to, and I am never meant to. And it took a long time for me to be okay with that, because we're so programmed to think that we have to belong with a group of people, right? Or we put this label of who we are, sense of that's why we want to go home, because we don't fit anywhere. We're not meant to, my loves. We are meant to show what this looks like. No boxes, no limitations, no limiting belief systems to your truth and what is truth and what is out there, right? And how we are one. It's just, this is what we're going through, and it's so very powerful. And I know it seems so frightening, but it is beautiful. And I'm loving how Spirit's working through me lately with the collective of really bringing forth a lot of why and insights and where we're moving towards, because it's always good to know why you're doing the work, right? Like, okay, it's a lot of water, and then I'll do any last clarifying. And hello, my love. Hello, my beautiful love. Thank you for that picture today. I loved it. It was so peaceful. And that night sky, the moon, oh my goodness, she was just fucking beautiful. I loved it. Thank you for sharing that with me today. All right, let's look at anything else Spirit wants to come through with in terms of man holding a golden coin and this movement. I feel like it's just a really big movement towards self-worth and really what we value and who we value. And again, how time, attention, energy is the currency. Ooh. Okay. Moving forward passionately, Queen of Wands, and we're in Aries season 2, from the heart space and coming from a place of compassion, but also being passionate, because some of this shit, we got to talk, it's revolution. And it sounds scary, but it's not really scary. What I'm seeing is very, very inspiring, and it's passion. And again, it comes to it's unity consciousness, and it's fighting for ourselves, for our worth. It's movement towards, us, self-love, love thyself, love thy neighbor. And it's coming from this, it's really, I feel like the events during this Aries season around this are really leading us towards this movement again, of the 4D, of that heart space. Oh yeah, 4D. My ears. Spread your wings. Spread your wings. Anything there you want to share with us? Woo! Karmic wheel is moving, because right next to it is embrace. We are clearing karma. We are moving forward. And again, if hopefully it resonates for you individually. It should, because we're another 10. So completion of cycles, movement forward. I feel like, again, it's representative too of the shift, of kind of the shift of fortune, and really who's fortunate and really who's not. A bit precocious with that. I don't know. That's funny. Embrace. What's the world about? What are we embracing? What cycle maybe is ending that we're walking away from? I love it. Oh, fucking love it. Yeah. Look, we're moving away. 5 of Wands. Competition, comparing. Well, there is nothing we need to compete with each other for. Could be money related, right? We're in this place where these fucking people went and bought shit for months and others have nothing. Like they're fighting over toilet paper in the United States, kind of a thing coming through. And then this being left out in the cold because of this shit. This is what we do to each other, right? This is what we've been programmed to do to each other. This individually is coming out of this. It's alignment again, because look what came out. So it could be representative of something we're seeing in Leo season, but it doesn't have to be again. What I'm really getting is we're strong, and we're stronger together, and we're going to start moving towards this. Done with the comparing, done with the competition, done with leaving people out in the cold, because that's the shit that really pisses me the fuck off, y'all. And it is that divine feminine message coming through of, you want to see an angry feminine, fucking leave kids out in the cold. Hungry, people fighting. That's when Mama Bear comes in and has enough of this. That's where her animal instinct, nurturing, protective vibe comes out of no. You fuck with the weak, you fuck with the poor, you fuck with the children, you fuck with the sick, and we're not having it anymore. And it's that same kind of place individually with people and situations of no, jobs, you make me compete with other people. You don't value me, because any job we all know replace you in 24, 48 hours. We'll leave you out in the cold. There's a whole energy coming through right now of freedom, of us really seeing past the shit, because this isn't to me about coronavirus. Y'all know how I feel. If I want to fucking fly to Australia, I better be goddamn allowed to fly to Australia. I should not have to be in a panic that I can't wipe my ass. Right? I should not be in a place where I feel collective energy of tension in homes because of this stuff. I think this is more and more too what we're going to see is fighting in the homes. Because I was seeing that, when was it? Tuesday night. I just kind of had this flash and feeling of I think I talked about it. I could see like and feel tension building in homes. Like people wanting to say, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like noise, kids driving you nuts, all of this stuff, tapping into your inner strength, because everything starts within. Everything starts within our homes. And then we teach by being, right? So, whew, shit, y'all. That was intense. Let's look at this, all that glitters. Tell us a little more about all that glitters. I don't want to take all those. Anything else with this? 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Thank you. Again, okay. Oh, okay. All right. 7 of Pentacles came out, and I instantly heard the seeds. Seeds have been planted long ago. The seeds are harvesting. The next is 8 of Pentacles, the hard work paying off in the physical. Doing your work in the physical. So there is this energy here with all that glitters, things coming to the surface, things coming into the physical, balance, manifestations, truth. The 8 of Cups came out. I instantly thought of walking away, but it was in reverse, and I typically am not a reversal. But there was something I was getting about not walking away from this one. Like there's something coming through, a message of there's this energy of ego, of masks, of materialism, of old energy. It's coming to the surface, and it's something that can't be avoided because it's what's bringing in that balance. About this flow to the sea. Again, some of you might be traveling with to the sea. I was talking about it as flow and then just realized it says to the sea. But it's definitely about being in the flow. Water came through the last reading I did too. This is purification. This is cleansing. That's what Aquarius is about as well. So it's a pure allowing the emotions to come out, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. To move past the fighting and the comparing and the feeling and fears of abandonment. And I'm just getting this like, collective poverty and control and ugh. I'll keep it real. That shit does not feel good. Some of what's coming, and I have to be honest, it doesn't feel good collectively. All right, 1 of Cups to the sea. Anything else to share with the 1 of Cups? Again, with the heart, this is healing of the past. This is healing of cycles, patterns. It is the movement from living in pain to living in pleasure, to living in power and peace, instead of living in this mind heart battle coming through. This is what's incoming. This is what we're opening up to. This is the collective healing journey, and yours and ours individually as well. And again, within twin flame connections and reunions and coming back together through my experience, there's a lot of healing that has to happen. And it isn't necessarily this life. It's old. It's old. And the true twins that are here, it's that first life. It goes right there to that moment where you agreed to separate. It's what triggered this kind of thing that you hold so deeply, is fears of abandonment. And I will, you know what I'm being guided to do is, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a bit of a storyteller. So I've been thinking about doing like a weekend like story session in sharing my story from the beginning, from this first life. And it being a twin journey now is fears. I believe part of my throat chakra stuff is I've spoken up before, or maybe pushed things or manipulated things, and it's not turned out in my favor. And it's hurt me. I believe physically in one life. Yeah. But I do know from a lot of deep exploring in the first life, because our first lives are here. Again, even collectively, the past is being brought into the present, plagues. We have patterns of this. Um, Stock market crashes, epidemics, all of these things have happened before in our individual lives and in the collective. And we are bringing them forth so we can clear that old energy for once and for all to really create something new. But again, and look, the star on the bottom, this is healing. The healing is incoming, but it is a lot of having to open yourself up and be vulnerable. And we all aren't so good at that. I know I'm not. I'm getting better. I think too, for the divine feminine, just a little divine feminine perspective. I feel like there's a bit of fear too, really in expressing your needs and your wants, because there's a bit of fear of being left, of them not being met. And so there's this, I feel like that is going to be a common, or is a common, healing that needs to happen when you come into union, because now you're communicating, right? And that's one thing I've noticed since we've been talking is my throat. It's really now we're working hearts opening, and it's moving up and up and up again. And same thing with the third eye, our telepathy. It's fucking insane. And I literally told him, I was like, we have two conversations sometimes, it feels like to me. And I was like, you gotta communicate in the physical. Like, you can't just get away with this kind of shit. And I'm telling you, to sit here and have these conversations with your person of how we speak telepathically together is really crazy shit. But I also know, and my guides and my knowing tells me that this is this new example of partnerships, and what these deep spiritual, higher conscious, other realmly connections look like verbally and very clearly. It's really, really fascinating, and it's one of the things I'm super stoked in growing together to play with and really explore and have fun with. To me, it feels like this shift for a lot of us is getting to kind of play now with the Jedi training, and do the work like in the external world. So anyways, let's wrap up looking at find balance with these building blocks. Anything else with this Two of Pentacles? Two of Pentacles. Ooh. Again, that energy of movement towards this in the physical, something really balanced, but it's slow. This Knight of Pentacles is always, to me, the slow, stubborn ass. It's slow moving energy. And that's because of the healing. That's this standstill, right? This grounding by Gaia so that she can rest. And it's so amazing. And it just irritates me sometimes. I don't let it. You're home. That should be the place you always want to go to, where you're safest and secure. It shouldn't be the last place on earth you want to be. And if it is, you got some shit to figure out, because it should be sacred space, just like your human body, right? But we know through awakening and our process that it is slow and steady movement, and that time And again, I'll relate it to the twin flame journey of this to move forward. And it is slow and steady. It's baby steps. And again, even with soul mission and how you move forward through these shifts you're experiencing, it doesn't have to be a big, massive move. It's slow, steady progress. And that to me, that it's a process. And again, you can go blah, vomit diarrhea and all out your mouth, or, you know, kind of take a breath and come in calm is what's coming through. And I want to clarify that. Knight of Pentacles. Whoa. Okay. So got 2 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Death. Scorpio, maybe you're dealing with. Interesting. Offers coming in. Offers, again, that might not fit what you pictured, is what I'm getting. And even as a collective of maybe information coming in that we've got to take a step back and look at it, because there's this energy of not wanting to take the offer. Here's what I'm seeing. Like, it's movement, right? Like, here's the offer. I'm not sure what this is about, but then it's this. So it's this, to me, it's this energy of being open. Again, releasing the how. And I feel like that's part of collectively too, this anxiety. It's this kind of inner knowing, right? It's this inner knowing that more is coming, change is coming. But we want to know how, when, why. And sometimes we're not meant to know. We're meant to just trust the universe is giving us a gift. And that's the release here that I was picking up early, these spiritual awakenings, the ego deaths, the masks falling off. It could be representative right now in channeling collectively that we are going to experience deaths coming. It's just the cycle of life, I guess. The natural order of things, right? And that's really what we're bringing back into balance too, is working with Gaia, working with our home in her, in a balanced way, becoming one with not just ourselves and with others, but with Earth, with our home, and the systems that support that. So, take everything as it resonates. I am going to end, and I've been liking doing this while I still learn this deck. End with some last messages. And I know I said weekend forecast, but I don't quote me on anything this weekend. I don't know. I did yesterday, something's coming. So it could be these 2 conjunctions are really this kind of Queen of Wands energy I was getting, of something kind of being ignited or sparked that causes all this kind of more movement. All right, well, this deck in spirit for the last few days is super serious about water. Again, it's that cleansing, it's that flowing, it's that purification. And then we get the Andean cross, which is an opening, a portal opening. It is big time, right? The 3D is falling quickly. And so we're opening up into this 4th dimensional way of being and living. It could be 2, see the 2 here, moving into this next level in spiritual partnership. If that's something that is resonating as it's resonating for you. timelines with this Andean cross. Mayan, I'm getting Mayan images of predictions, right? Mayan calendar could come into play with, like I said, the galactic new year, which is the end of July. And before that, we have our summer, eclipse season during that May, June period, and we lead up to Lionsgate again. So with this Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus Taurus conjunction this weekend, and they square, I feel like is the big thing that might be this kind of movement into this next level, this next dimension. And I've been getting this in a lot of private readings of a lot of spiritual shifting, a lot of leveling up, I guess is the way to say it, at least for me right now. I'm going to look at the book. I didn't last time with water, so I wanted to. The other thing with water coming through is, remember I said Gaia exploding. She's moving into water. So earthquakes, tsunamis, and I'm going to read this, which is what triggered me back to it. Water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from former self to new self. Ooh. Many myths around the world, see where this is coming in, speak of a great flood and the new life that is revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries. Again, there's that Uranus and Taurus of breaking free from restrictions. And that's the thing that brings out my little angelic anarchy or anarchist that I have inside of me, that is just like the flight thing. Like, I don't do that. Limitations. I've never been. And if that's a quality of an indigo. It's a quality of star seeds of kind of being rule breakers. Like, we just don't, because we have this great intuitive and innate sense of morality, of integrity, that most rules and structures and systems we've grown up with seem ludicrous to us, that we even need them, right? And they are. And that's, again, this shift coming through. So water begins without boundaries. Then as soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable. And do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. That's beautiful. And it ties together exactly what I've been channeling and feeling intuitively is happening. Fucking love you guys, and I love you guys. And I'm going to go to this Andean cross because it ties right in. The Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. The Andean cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. That is this to me too, whatever this is, of a response, of a of what is that, of being okay with the not knowing, just stepping through. Again, if it feels right with the emotions here, if it feels right, it's right. Doesn't matter how it looks, right? It doesn't even how it sounds. You intuitively reading between those lines. To me, too, collectively, again, this Saturn and Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus trine this weekend is kind of like, for me, a catalyst moment or a trigger point to, again, moving us, purification, healing, cleansing, moving us towards divine partnership. And I'm not saying that individually, like working together, that unity, that balance of masculine and feminine energy coming together from the heart space. So it is individual. It definitely is sacred unions coming in. And it is collective and coming together and unity consciousness. And we're moving, you guys, and it's beautiful. So I'm going to end it there. And as always, I'm sending you shit tons of love and light and gratitude. I love you all so much. If it resonated, it definitely as like a sacred connection and you want to do a private reading, reach out. I'm here. I did do a special offer for right now. I'm not going to put a limit on it, but I'm doing 15-minute kind of quick mini reads for $33. So that's there. And just thank you. None of that is needed. Just sharing your energy with me on here, and sharing yourselves with me in private messages is beautiful. And I think that's it, y'all. I love you to death. Whoa, I don't know about that one. I don't like that one. Where'd you come up with that one? I don't. I love you to pieces. Mwah. Talk to you soon.